Bobbi Parker, the deputy warden's wife. She said she'd been kidnapped, held hostage for more than 10 years by an escaped convict. Now she was on trial for helping him break out of prison. Bobbi did not take the stand, but did take our questions.
Why didn't you just take off? You could have gotten off and you could have gotten help. You felt like there was no law enforcement agent who would be able to help you out?
No, I didn't feel that way. I knew the consequences of what would happen to me and my family. I just knew it.
You're certain about
I have
what would have
no doubt.
happened?
And that's what people don't understand. I couldn't get past the fear within me, the voice within me.
Couldn't you dash off a letter, just letting your family know you were alive?
Mm-hmm. But I didn't have permission. I had to have permission to do everything.
At one point he had a heart attack.
Yes.
I mean, you understand how that looks, right? The man is having a heart attack in a hospital, and even then, you don't leave.
He was still alive. I just couldn't take that chance. I just couldn't do it.
One of the things that they found where you were living was a letter that you wrote after his heart attack. We've had a great ride. Let us enjoy life, celebrate living, for it is so short. God placed me in your path for a reason. Sounds like a pretty heartfelt love letter.
I was fighting for my life.
You can understand how people would look at this.
I understand that completely.
I really do love you.
This was an insane world I was living in. Nothing made sense in the environment that I lived in the world I lived in. Nothing. But I did what I had to do.
Bobbi says emphatically, despite how officers thought it looked in that trailer, she and Dial were never a couple. They never slept in the same bed. The vibrator was a gag gift, never used. And the condoms? She says part of the rapes.
Did you ever stop to consider that maybe all of his threats were empty threats?
I think my intuition was pretty right. I think he was a very dangerous man. I think he would retaliate.
All you knew was what he was telling you.
Yes, and I had to sort through that. He spoke in half-truths.
The jurors did not hear Bobbi speak of these things. But after 11 weeks of testimony and 13 hours of deliberation, they did arrive at a verdict. As the jury filed back into the courtroom, Bobbi says she was hopeful.
There was actually no credible evidence.
But that hope quickly evaporated. The jurors found her guilty.
Were you shocked?
Yes. Yes. I think everybody in the courtroom was shocked.
You had 38 defense witnesses, and the jurors didn't believe them.
No, didn't believe any of them, I guess.
The district attorney thought justice was done.
It was just a sense of relief that we had prevailed on it.
There were those who thought you should have had the warden on trial as well.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. Personally, I think he is to blame to some extent for allowing an environment within the prison, as far as security is concerned, that would allow something like this to happen. I don't think he's personally responsible for it. I mean, Bobbi Parker's the one that made the decision to go with him.
The warden says his policies were not the problem, that it was Bobbi who ran off with an inmate.
Am I going to sit here and say that Bobbi Parker's a victim? No. Never in a million years. And maybe that's just because I want to justify my decision. Maybe it's, who knows why. I don't think so. I think I'm a pretty good judge of character. No, Bobbi Parker is not a victim. And we have a jury that agrees with me.
Immediately after the verdict, Bobbi was sentenced to 1 year in prison. The judge sent her directly to jail, declaring her a flight risk.
Family members said, please don't take her. And I said to them, I know this sounds odd. I'll be just fine. I've lived in captivity for so long. I'll be fine.
Bobbi has now served her time and is trying to clear her name. Despite the guilty verdict, Randy believes his wife is innocent and is angered by those who don't.
It's easy to sit back in a normal, safe environment when nobody's threatening you, when you're not being hurt, when you're not having any problems at all, and to be tough. But face a situation to where you fear for your life, or you believe, whether it's true or not, it doesn't matter. To her, it was real. And I believe that to her, it was real.
What do you personally make of the fact that this woman, who you absolutely believe fell in love with a prisoner, helped him bust out of jail, lived with him in a loving relationship for 10 years on the lam, was reunited immediately with her husband, and they have never been apart since?
I can't explain it. I mean, to me, it makes no sense.
I loved my husband then. I love my husband now. We had a good marriage, still have a good marriage.
You think your marriage will survive this?
Well, yeah, no doubt that will. It survived 10.5 years of separation. It survived a trial, prison. I don't know what else there could be.